This meeting is being recorded.
So good afternoon, everyone. So we are Group 2, and we are pleased to welcome you to our presentation titled An Exploration of the Sikh Family Values, Culture, Diversity, and Their Impact on Aging, Health, and Healing. So our team members are Leia Fe Andrada, Lilian Tan, Naima Hossein, Daisy Lynn Galorio, and Amandeep Kaur. In today's presentation, we aim to explore the rich cultural tradition of the Sikh community and how this value influence the experience of aging, healthcare, and healing. So we will look at the strong role family plays in the caregiving, how spiritual beliefs shape the attitude toward the health, and how diversity within the community can impact the healthcare approaches. So by understanding the cultural context, we can provide more respectful, person-centered care, especially to elderly sick clients who may face challenges like the social isolation, the chronic illness, or the cultural misunderstanding in healthcare settings. So we hope this presentation encourage the cultural awareness, compassion, and the inclusivity in your future caregiving roles. So let's begin our report. So in Sikh culture, the family is highly valued, and traditional structured often reflect the strong connection and respect for elders. First one is the extended family. So many the Sikh families live in extended family arrangement or multiple generation, like the grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousin. They live together or maintain close tie, and this structure allows for the shared responsibility, emotional support, and care for elders or children. Next one is the patriarchal system. The traditional Sikh families follow the patriarchal model where the oldest male or the elder in the family holds the authority in terms of consulting the major family decision. Next one is the varied family types, where traditional extended families are common. The modern Sikh families also include the nuclear household, the step families, the same-sex parents, and the multi-general homes. So this reflects the adaptation of the contemporary society, especially the immigrant or the Western context. Then the marriage in the Sikh are typically monogamous and often arranged usually by the families with the consent by the individual. Our next topic is the core Sikh family values and the belief. So equality, so all family members treated with dignity regardless of the age or the gender. The respect, they have a mutual respect is fundamental family harmony. And the self-service helping one others through strengthen the family community bonds and the spirituality, living with love, optimism, gratitude, purity, and sacrifice. So now that we have explored the strong family bonds and decision-making structure in Sikh culture, let's take the closer look at how these values connect with health practices and beliefs. So Aman will now continue our presentation with discussion on health, wellness, and death in Sikh culture.
Hello everyone, I am Aman and I am gonna share the health, wellness, and death in the Sikh culture. We're gonna start with the holistic health. In Sikh culture, health and wellness are viewed as a holistic experience that includes spiritual, physical, moral, and social well-being. In the Sikh faith, engaging in rituals, particularly through the practice of seva, selfless service, is positively correlated with both well-being and a strong sense of community. And then we're gonna move to the death. In Sikh culture, death is seen as a natural part of life and is approached with calm acceptance grounded in faith and spiritual awareness. Those who lived in line with Sikh teachings often face the end of life with peace and dignity, finding comfort in prayer, meditation, and the recitation of Gurbani, which is known as scripture as well. Excessive outward displays of grief are discouraged. Instead, solace is found in remembering God, Nam Simran, and understanding the divine. Next slide, please. For the next one, we're gonna use the religious role in healing and environment, healing through faith. A responsible and respectful relationship with the environment is encouraged by the Sikh faith. The environment in Sikhism is considered sacred, a reflection of God's presence. Earth is designed as a place where humans are intended to live righteously and in balance with all living beings. Nature is like a family, air is a teacher, water is the father, earth is the mother. Sikhs believe it is their spiritual duty to care for creation and live responsibly with respect for diversity and balance. The principle of you reap what you sow can be applied on this and reminds believers that action driven by greed or overuse of resources harm both the environment and the soul. Economic values in Sikhism shape how healthcare is approached with a strong focus on sharing and community care. The Langar, a free community kitchen, ensures no one goes hungry, showing how Sikhs support one another regardless of wealth. This spirit carries into healthcare, where the sick and vulnerable often receive help through community donations and volunteer services. Over 60 years more at the risk of health problems as a result of declining health. One of the first responsibility of the society is to provide care to their senior citizens. Society provides on one limb by creating the adaptations in public spaces required to help support the elderly, as well as being responsible for a general wider level of care that sees the need of the senior citizen identified and escalated. However, must go on in the home, and there is a strong historical need for this within Sikhism. Now my partner Dislene would continue with the next slide. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Deseline and I'm tackling the stress coping and spiritual teachings. So first of all, we need to understand what is stress all about. So according to World Health Organization, dated February 21, 2023, stress can be defined as a state of worry or mental tensions caused by a difficult situation. Stress is a natural human response that prompts us to address challenges and threats in our lives. Everyone experiences stress to some degree. The way we respond to stress, however, makes a difference to our overall well being. So the question is that how might members of Sikh culture cope or deal with stress? Through prayer and meditation or Nam Simran, scripture reading and asking for help from family, and the Gurdwara community are common ways for Sikhs to deal with stress. Having faith in God's will or hukam fosters, fosters acceptance and inner peace. Are there any spiritual teachings or knowledge with the stress in the culture? One of the fundamental practices in Sikhism that promotes mental health is meditation, known as Simran, or remembrance of the divine. This meditative practice involves repeating and contemplating the sacred name of the divine, fostering a sense of inner peace and tranquility. That is a tool to silence the restless mind, promoting mindfulness and self awareness. Guru Arjan urges us to meditate on God. So, Miss Naima will be continue to our topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Desley. I'm Naima. Now I'm going to tell about the supporting Sikh families in care. As we know, family is central in Sikh life. Sikhism emphasizes the importance of living as a strong, supportive unit where each member plays a role in upholding love, respect, and spiritual growth. Elders are often seen as the head of the household and are highly respected. Major decisions, especially related to the health, are usually discussed collectively, and caregiving is often a shared responsibility among families and members. Secondly, selfless service. Seva or selfless service is a fundamental Sikh value. It means serving others without expecting of rewards or recognition. This practice through helping the sick, feeding the hungry, or offering emotional support to the others in need. And the last one is community. Sangat refers to spiritual and emotional support of Sikh community. During difficult times, the community comes together in prayer, moral support, and collective strength. And visiting Gurudwara, participating in group prayers, and reading the Guru Granth Sahib are ways that Sikh find peace, hope, and meaning during the stressful or painful situation. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. How do Now I'm here going to adding economic influence in Sikhism and aging influence on care. In Sikhism, caring for family members, especially elders, is considered a moral and spiritual duty. Many Sikh family lives in a multi-generational household, not for to share expenses, but to ensure elders are cared for at home and surrounded by love and dignity. Community also share a very big role here in Sikhism. Sikhism is central to everyday life. When a family is facing illness, aging, or hardship, the community often step into, provide meals, offer prayers, take turn helps with the care, offer transport or childcare. This shared the responsibility reflects the Sikh values of seva, helping others without expecting anything in return. Respect for elders. Sikhism teaches deep respect for elders who are seen as a spiritual guide and pillar of the family. Elders often lead daily prayers, pass on teachings from the Guru Granth Sahib, and offer wisdom in family decision making. Placing elder in a long-term care is generally avoided unless no other option exists. And even then, family may visit daily to maintain connection and provide emotional support. And role of the senior citizen in the families. In the Sikh faith, senior Sikh often guide younger generation spiritually and morally. Continue seva by volunteering and gurudwara or helping at home, providing childcare or emotional support, maintaining a strong spiritual presence through the daily prayer. Even in old age, they are rarely seen as a burden, but rather than as valued keepers of Sikh identity or tradition. Our next slide is presented by my other group member, Leah.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to discuss about the diversity in Sikh culture and their communication. So members of the Sikh faith have a distinct communication styles. They have language preferences and cultural symbols that reflect their identity, values, and religious belief. Punjabi is the primary language, especially in India and among older generations worldwide. In the Sikh faith, G is a suffix used as a mark of politeness and honor. It is often added after their names, after their titles, or religious terms. It is similar to saying sir or honored one in English. They have also cultural symbols. We called it the 5 Ks, which stands for Kesh. This is like an uncut hair that symbolizes of respect for God's creation. Kangha is a wooden womb that symbolizes cleanliness and order. And Kara, it is still bracelet, reminder of the righteous action. Kachera, a cotton undergarments, which signifies modesty and self-control. Kirpan, it is a small ceremonial sword that symbolizes of justice and protection. Their music plays also a deeply spiritual and highly influential role in the Sikh faith. It's not just a form of expression, but a sacred medium used to connect with God, uplift the soul, and share the divine teachings. For their foods, the Sikh faith does not have a single mandatory diet. but encourages a simple, healthy, and compassionate way of eating. They are guided by their spiritual and ethical values. Sikh are vegetarian, and they are many avoid meat in their religious settings. Thank you. And my colleague will be the next one to report.
Thank you, Leah. Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the practices in Sikhism, especially in relation to traditional medicine and alternative healing, and how we can incorporate this into culturally sensitive care. So, Sikhism doesn't have a specific focus on traditional or alternative medicine, like Ayurveda, for instance. Instead, it promotes a more holistic approach to well being that seeks to balance the spiritual, emotional, and physical aspects of life. While Ayurveda, with its emphasis on cleansing and balancing the body's energies, isn't directly linked to Sikh practices. Many Sikhs may still choose to explore such tradition as part of their personal or cultural healing practices. However, Sikhism itself focuses more on spiritual health, guiding followers to meditate on God, Nam Japu, earn an honest living, Kirat Haru, and share with others, one Shukku. These values are central to the Sikh faith and are seen as foundational not just for spiritual growth, but also for mental and physical health. By living according to these principles, Sikhs can achieve inner peace, personal growth, and contribute to the well being of their communities. The teaching of Gurbani, the Sikh scripture, suggests that by connecting with the divine and living simply, we can transcend materialism and find peace, ultimately affecting both our health and happiness. Sikh values also emphasize personal transformation, fostering qualities like inner strength, truthfulness, and contentment. The Guru Granth Sahib serve as a guide for living simply and serving humanity, counteracting ego, materialism, and frustration. It's a powerful source of spiritual and mental wellness that also impacts physical well being. Also, a key part of Sikh's identity is the five Ks, sacred articles that reflect the commitment of faith, dignity, and discipline. These are not just religious symbols, they're deeply personal and spiritual for Sikhs, representing the essence of their beliefs. In healthcare, it's important to understand and respect the significance of these symbols. For example, the kesh, uncut hair, symbolizing respect for God's creation. For Sikhs, keeping their hair uncut and wearing a turban are significant acts of faith. The turban, in particular, represents gender equality, humility, and acknowledgement that God is a supreme being. Asking a Sikh to remove their turban is seen as a violation of their faith. It's vital to allow Sikh to keep the five Ks on, at least make accommodation that respect the religious practices. Removing or disrupting these articles during medical procedures could be seen as disrespectful or or a violation of their faith. Next is the cultural sensitivity and healthcare. Understanding the Sikh faith and its connection to holistic well being is key when providing culturally sensitive care. Healthcare providers should approach sick patients with openness and respect, recognizing that their spirituality is deeply intertwined with their physical and mental health. This means respecting the significance of the five Ks in healthcare settings, particularly in hospitals or during medical procedures. Providers should also be mindful of religious customs, including the importance of meditation, dietary restrictions, and spiritual healing practices. In applying the person centered care approach, uh, it ensures that the healthcare is tailored to each individual's unique needs, beliefs, and preferences. For Sick patients, this means we need to actively listen to understand their specific health needs and preferences, including their spiritual belief. Be sensitive to their religious practices, ensuring that Sikh dietary restriction and healing practices are respected during treatment and hospitalization. Collaborative decision making, allowing sick patients to actively participate in their treatment plans, while respecting their spiritual and cultural practices, fostering an environment where cultural understanding and empathy are essential to healthcare delivery. So that's the end of our presentation. I hope that this discussion has helped you understand about Sikh faith. Thank you.